Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao and this is One News Now. The Senate Labor Panel approved in principle the proposed 150 pesos across-the-board wage hike. The bill is backed by no less than Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri, who hopes that the private sector will support the measure. He noted that the last time the legislature moved to increase the salaries of workers was back in 1989.
Nakita ko po sa aking sariling mga mata kung gaano ka hirap ang dinadaanan ng ating mga manggagawa at kung gaano kaliit ang pagtaas na kanilang sweldo. Kawawang-kawawa po ang ating mga kapatid na hindi po makaramdam ng disenteng buhay dahil sa napakababang wages.
But for the Employers Confederation of the Philippines, or ECOP, this move would lead to the closure of small businesses as they will not be able to keep up with the increase. With this, the group is urging the government to consult the measure first with different concerned agencies.
May kaya siguro yung medium tsaka yung large, mga 2% lang yun. Marami rin yun, libo rin yun, pero 2% lang yun. Paano na yung mga maliliit enterprises?
And President Bongbong Marcos is encouraging ASEAN member states to support small businesses and business owners. Speaking to the ASEAN Business Advisory Council, Marcos underscored the crucial role of the informal business sector to all countries. These so-called nano businesses include home-based businesses, makeup artists, vulcanizers, vendors, and riders, among others. Marcos says that such nano businesses are not given much attention as support is currently focused on MSMEs, or micro, small, medium enterprises. The chief executive believes that supporting the growth of nano businesses is also the key to economic growth. Meanwhile, President Marcos has also urged ASEAN member states to take decisive action on geopolitical issues in the region.
It is imperative that we be decisive. It is imperative that we be responsive. Today, ASEAN faces a complex geopolitical environment which includes rivalries amongst great powers, climate change, technological disruptions, amongst others. ASEAN itself is not immune to its own challenges as we continue to navigate through our differences in the region towards a general consensus of action.
President Marcos also said that ASEAN countries must strive to improve and prioritize its future.
The ASEAN of today must be better than the ASEAN of yesterday. For ASEAN to succeed, ASEAN must be the master of its future.
And aside from being the country's education chief, Vice President Sara Duterte is now the new co-vice chairperson of the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict. National Security Advisor Eduardo Año confirmed that VP Sara has accepted the post. Año says Duterte will help the task force supervise regional peace and development across the country. President Bongbong Marcos serves as the task force chairman, while Año is the other vice chairperson. The NTF-ELCAC and some of its officials have been under fire for supposedly red tagging several personalities.
Ang kanyang mga experiences ay magagamit niya para ma-share at yung mga best practices na po pwede magamit ng iba't ibang mga ahensya na involved dito sa NTF-ELCAC. Her unstinting commitment in the cause of the NTF-ELCAC will undoubtedly be very valuable to the task force, and we thank her for accepting the challenge.
We're going to pause for a quick break, but One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. We are back on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Philippines gained a silver and a bronze medal in today's 32nd SEA Games action in Cambodia. The Philippine women's cricket team secured the silver medal in the women's six-a-side cricket competition in Phnom Penh. They lost to host country Cambodia in the finals. Meanwhile, Pinoy cyclist Ronald Oranza took the bronze medal in the men's road criterium event of cycling. He finished with a time of 1 hour, 13 minutes and 39 seconds, just behind gold medalist Terry Kusuma of Indonesia with 1 hour, 13 minutes and 38 seconds. An iconic children's show, Sesame Street, debuted its first Filipino Muppet, TJ. TJ was created by Filipino-American animation director Bobby Pontillas. The Muppet was introduced in a recent episode where TJ was talking to actor Kal Penn, Grover, and Korean-American Muppet Ji Young. Meanwhile, Pontillas also shared that TJ was inspired by his lifelong friends' children, Max and Mateo. Master puppeteer Louis Mitchell collaborated with him to create the first Pinoy Muppet. And as a title holder of many firsts, she aims to elevate Filipino and Asian American representation in the pageant world. Miss Universe 2022 Arboni Gabriel caught up with Kathy Yang just before she boarded the plane to Manila, her first return to the Philippines in 5 years. Here is an excerpt of that conversation.
She's a title holder of many firsts and aims to elevate Filipino and Asian American representation in the pageant world. She is the first Filipino American to win both Miss USA and Miss Universe, and she is the CEO of her own sustainable clothing line. Joining us now in New York for Thought Leaders, please welcome Miss Arboni Gabriel. Good to see you, Arboni. How is it going?
Hello, thank you for having me. It's going well here in New York.
Well, how are you feeling ahead of your Philippine visit? We're all looking forward to that. You're the special guest of the Miss Universe Philippines 2023 Coronation Night.
I am really looking forward to it as well. This is going to be a very special trip. I've been waiting for this to happen, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited about it. I haven't been to the Philippines since 2018, so to come back now as Miss Universe, I know will be such a special experience.
5 years, that's a long time for you not to get back here, and you'll get your fill of ensamadas for sure. Your favorite Filipino pastry.
My favorite.
Yeah, you know your dad, Remigio R. Bonzon, often took you on trips back to the Philippines, if I'm not mistaken. What has he said about his roots here and how his journey took him to the U.S.?
My father tells me of growing up with his 7 siblings in Manila, Philippines all the time. And, you know, he grew up in church, and that really opened up a world of opportunities. And that's where he was actually had an opportunity of a scholarship. Somebody in church told him about a scholarship to come to America. And my dad was very studious. He was very hardworking, and he was very observant, he said, growing up. So when he found this opportunity for the scholarship, he went full force for it, and that was kind of his ticket into America. He was the first one of his whole family to do so, and that opened the door for his other siblings to come and other people in his family to come to America and just to build that life and, you know, to work hard and work towards the American dream.
And his closest to the church also is something that he brought to the U.S. because your dad and your mom, Dana, got married here in the Philippines.
One News Now will be back at 3 p.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.